Hey, it's Alex Sabatelli here. Super excited to be doing this training for you, and I sure hope that it's helpful. It's really meant to be a contact flow system idea for you to help you to kind of organize your list of people that you want to share Isagenix with, the Forever Pack, or however you're using, or sharing Isagenix, how to share Isagenix with people, get that list going, and move them through what I call a series of educational exposures, events, invitations to more education to help them move from that list of potential customers to members, to forever members, to consultants, to consultant machines, right? All along that whole path, we continue to educate and serve and invite them to new things. And we need to continue to know, what did we invite them to? Keep our notes straight. Put them in the calendar, right? Like, it's just this whole tracking system that I've created with what's called a Kanban board with Trello, Trello. Trello. It's a free app that you can download on your on your phone. So you can get that on an iOS or on your Android. And then you also want to get it on your tablets, and you want to get it just by going in on your browser and typing in Trello.com, and you log in. Once you set up your free account, you log into all of your devices on the same username and password, and they all sync up in real time whenever you're online. It's so darn handy. And you're going to love it. I really think that you're going to love it. So I'm going to do kind of two trainings in one here. Part of it's going to be around teaching this flow of bringing people from your list to a consultant machine. There's going to be way more on your list than those that are going to make it to the consultant machine, right? So we know this. And at the same time, it's this tracking system that you can use. Now, I just want to be really clear. This is not a CRM. This is not a where you can just like email mass people and, track who's got opened their emails and all that kind of stuff. Isagenix has a really great contact management system that you can utilize for that. It is called ISA Tools. I actually have it. I have it on my phone, and I also have the app. But I have found for my flow to be able to capture ideas and people and notes and everything in this one app has been the best thing I could do. And it's so fun to slide people over from column to column as they move through this whole plan. I think you're going to find it really satisfying, easy, and I sleep way better at night when I just know that everything's handled. I know that the dates that I'm supposed to call the next people are just going to pop up for me because I set it up in this way. It's going to take probably a little bit of time for you to set it up. Not too much. I'm going to walk you through it here today. And these are just my suggestions. You can totally make this exactly how you want it and play with it. And with that, I want to say this disclaimer. I am not your tech coach. I'm not going to be the one that you just come to and say, how do I make this work? How do I make that work? Can you do this again? Because honestly, that's just not my role. I'm here to share this with you. I hope you can make it work. They've got great support. They've got a blog. They've got videos. They've got a whole board that they're going to give you when you download this that gives you tips and tricks and shortcuts. And I had to learn it just by hacking through it myself, and I know you can do that too. So please honor my time. I'm doing this to totally help you. And if there's a few questions on the thread, I'll try to tackle that. But I'm also building a business too, and I've been doing a lot of training and trying to help you guys be successful in this. And I hope it's been really helpful. And I'm getting to work. I'm putting my work hat on. So I appreciate you honoring my time. Again, this is just really to be a support and an idea and a help, and just to kind of get you rolling with this app if you're going to find it helpful, and also do this kind of teaching around the concept of bringing people through this series of educational exposures with the ideas of how to utilize the back end of foreverpack.com, the trainings that are there to help move you into that direction. And I apologize for background noise. I hope you're hearing me clear, and it'll probably get a little bit quieter as we move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have to also let you know my bandwidth is not the best here. I live in the foothills between Sacramento and Lake Tahoe in California, and I'm literally copper wire. So it may not be the clearest connection, but I hope that you are getting this clearly enough. And if I need to redo it again, I will redo it again. But I'm just going to go ahead and tackle this out because I promised I would get it finished. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to share a particular board that I'm creating. And I'm going to have you go to Trello, Trello.com, in order to go ahead and download this app for your phone, your tablet. But right now, really, Trello.com on your computer is going to be the easiest way for you to get your board set up. So it looks like I am sharing the board. It says it's paused. I'm not quite sure why, and it could be because of my bandwidth. We'll have to just see what's going on there. Resume share. There we go. Okay, it looks like it might be working now. I hope it is. We'll see when I do the playback. Okay, so this is a little board that I put together. I'm gonna go just straight back to like their main page so you can see where you would start a board. And you can just ignore that I have a bunch of boards here. Pretend that you don't see that. And to start a new board from your main, once you've downloaded this, here's the app. It's called Trello, T-R-E-L-L-O. You're just gonna hit a plus and you're gonna create a board. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna hit create a board. I'm gonna title this board, oops. I'm gonna title this board, Getting Started, oops, ISA. Okay, there it is, Getting Started ISA. Here's my new board, and it gave me this interesting looking background. I'm going to ignore that. And so you're basically going to set up, this is just a blank looking canvas, and we're gonna set up lists. These are just lists. And the first list you're gonna start is a bucket. This is your main list. We're calling that one a bucket. The second one is going to be potential active prospects. And I'll explain all of these afterwards. The next one is members. The next one's associates. And I forget what I did after that. So I'm just gonna kind of show you how simple this piece of it is. You're gonna create these main lists, and they're going to be, they're interchangeable. You know, you can move them around, but they're just gonna be basically columns, all right? And once we have, you know, like if you have a list of people that you've already put into like a digital format, it's just like when I first got started, I had this list that was on like a spreadsheet, you know, completely not dynamic at all. It was just a spreadsheet, and the list was getting out of control. You can actually copy that whole list and paste them right in here into add card. You can paste the whole list and it will give you the option to create individual cards from a list, whether it's on a spreadsheet or just literally a list from notes or from an email, just, you know, where there's an enter in between each thing. I apologize for the background noise. So in this case, I'm just gonna enter a few names here. I'm just to show you, and I'm gonna go to the sample board that I created. So we're just gonna do, let's just go ahead and say Laura St. John, Dave MacArthur, Lenny Evans, and Alex Sabatelli. By the way, that's who I am, in case you didn't know. And then we'll put an Angel Whitmire. I think I got that right. I hope I spelled that right, Angel. And let's put Jojo Bennington. Okay, so here's just some Forever Packers. Okay, we'll just do that for the example. And I'm gonna probably do this on another board, but I just wanted to show you really quickly, this is where you're gonna download your list of people that you wanna share. These are the rocks you wanna flip, and you're just gonna go ahead and put them all in this bucket. And every time you think of somebody new, you can add them to the bucket. All right, now we have no notes on these yet. We have not opened these cards, but each of these is an individual card. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go over to the other board that I created and just give a little bit more framing before I start to go into these names and how we can start moving these names through this list. All right, so I'm gonna move over to this other board that I had started. Here it is, Sample Isogenics Contact Board. This one, I like the background of this one. It looks kind of like our Forever Pack stuff. What I did with this one is I just created some of the basics and named the different columns so I could share with you a little bit quicker, all right? And I used a bunch of tags that you see in these different colors that I'm gonna also walk you through to really help you to understand the series of educational exposures at the same time as you are adding people to it and moving people through this process, all right? So I should probably go right back in here. You can see the names of these columns. I've got bucket, active potentials. These are people that you are sharing with, that you've already shared something with, right? Some sort of an exposure with. And what I've done here is I've created a card that says 1 to 3 exposures. You'll see that there, and I'll open that up in a second. The next one was members, people who now have a membership And then you've got associates, people that have bumped up to the associate level, or that are just kind of getting started. In this case, I also created a consultants and machines, right? So these are people that have reached the level of consultant and that are on their way to consultant machines. All right, and then I created a list called event confirmations. This, again, you're going to be able to completely make this customizable to you. This is just one way of doing it. In this case, I've just created that I have a couple of events in my home coming up. We've got the Monday Facebook, the Forever Pack Live that's happening. I want to list out who I've invited that has confirmed for these events, and so that I can follow up with them. So these are just some of those bigger events that I'm inviting people to. These are the live ones that are going to take people through multiple exposures at one time. They're going to get the product story. They're going to get the business story. They're going to get the culture. They're going to have other people. There's going to be a sense of urgency. There's going to be a fear of loss. Like, there's all of these dynamics that happen in these events that you would otherwise need to add more exposures, more like a number of different videos and three-way calls and so on to get that much activity happening with somebody. Whereas the events really do a lot of heavy lifting for you and can move somebody from a prospect all the way to a consultant machine, literally in that one event. So I really want to make sure that I track those and that I'm always building for those and that they are in my calendar. So that's why I have a whole column for that, right? Then I have a not now drip list. These are people that say, check in with me in July, I'm just too busy, whatever, or check in with me in a few months, or I know I don't want to give up on them, but I just need to get it kind of out of my active list for now. You can leave it in your active list, but I like to kind of move them over and have a space for them where I don't feel like they're just in my face, and I can set a timer on that, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. It's a good list to have. Because I don't want any names popping up that are going to drain my energy because maybe they weren't ready yet, right? They're the not now yet people. And then there's the hard no's. There's just like the no's. And I want to count those no's because those no's are telling me I'm closer to yeses. So I can just easily slide a card over into this no column. And again, I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then I also have a miscellaneous column. This column is where I have some really great share texts, right? Where you can put in, like, I've got telomere talk points, right? Dave just posted something in Facebook and he had some great talk points around telomeres. So I just copied it and created a card and pasted it here into this Trello because it's going to be handy for me when I need it, right? Calls and Zooms. I wanted to have those links handy. So when I'm connecting with associates and they're asking me for, what's the dial in for that thing, it's right in this one place. I can find it, quickly grab it, copy it, and paste it into a text or an email or whatever I'm using to communicate with them. Same with scripts. I don't have any in here. This is not my actual active board. I had to create this one to share with you guys. But different scripts, different text scripts, all kinds of stuff that you can put in here, maybe some key links to some websites that you want to have handy, right? All of this is just a place to put notes and handy things that you're finding inside of the Facebook groups and different trainings that you want to have access to at your fingertips. Okay, great place to capture those and have them in one place. And you can, again, create whatever lists that you want. So moving forward, moving forward from this, what I want to share now is let's go ahead and we'll add those names again to the bucket. Okay, so now you've got your list of people going. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to say Laura. I'm going to say Lenny. I'll say Dave. I'm going to say Alex and Angel and Jojo. And let's just go ahead and put some of my people in here. Candace and Kim and Leah and Daniela and Lisa. Okay, just so we have some names. This could be, in some cases, I might have like somebody I met at Circle K while I was traveling. I might say Lisa and in parentheses say Circle K, or some sort of a note so that right there in the name I can see exactly who I'm speaking with, and it just kind of jumps out at me. My cat's going to come and join me. She always does this. So, okay, so let's go ahead and put some notes in Laura. So Laura, we just created a card for her. This is an active dynamic card. Again, it's going to share across your devices, and you can put all kinds of really great notes and things in here. So let's say under this description with Laura, this is where I'm going to capture notes about her. So met in Isagenix. Let's say she's 35 years. I don't know how old you are, Laura, but let's say you're 34 years old. 34 years old. Maybe we're going to say the 1 or 2 things that she's interested in is weight and fitness, performance, energy, right? So this is what we know. Whoops. Energy. So these are some of the important things that she wants, right? I might have her email, her phone, just to have them handy. Sometimes that's the first thing I'll put in here. And then daughter and mom came up in conversation. So just a few notes, whatever those pertinent notes are that you want to capture about them and about the conversations that you have with them that you want to have handy all the time. This is different than activity about what you're sharing or like when you're sharing things and like kind of those things, because we have an activity tracker in here as well. So this is just kind of a main conversation. And then you go ahead and hit save on that. So now you have a description of this person, whatever those keynotes are. You don't need, in terms of on the right here, you've got members, labels, checklist, due dates, and attachments. This is super cool. You can, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. In this case, Laura, I just met her. I haven't shared with her yet. So let me just say that I'm just about to share with Laura now. And I texted her. So I can either copy and paste my text here into this comment, or I can just say shared 3-minute and 22-minute video today, right? This comment is time-stamped. You save it and you'll see it right down here that it's just going to be time-stamped. And every time you put anything in your comments, it's going to be time-stamped and recorded in here. This is the greatest thing because you can track everything that you've done with them. In this case, when I say that I've shared a 3-minute and a 22-minute video with her today, then I'm going to go ahead and label that because I want to be able to see visually that I have shared this with her. So I went ahead in advance and created a bunch of labels for you. And so they are in here. So you hit the word labels. I'll go back there again. It's right here on the sidebar. You hit labels. And in the beginning, they just have some colors in here and there's no labels. But what I've done is I've gone in, and you can do this too, and I created these labels. And I'm going to actually backtrack for a second. I'm going to leave Laura as she is for a moment. And I'm going to go into this quick training because as we move across from your list, the bucket, to active potentials, members, associates, and consultants and machines, I want to show you how these labels work, okay? In this case, I just created a kind of a training card, a first card for each of these. And you can do this for yourself if you like, just for some notes. In this case, I'm going to open this card. And 1 to 3 exposures is what I put in here. So again, this is for a new active prospect to become a member. My thinking is they are going to need 1 to 3 exposures, right? So I went ahead and created the labels in here, and these are the labels that I created. So you can tag your people when you move them from the bucket over to an active prospect with which exposures you shared with them. So here's the ones that I shared. This might look a little bit small. So I'm just going to say, I'll read them out to you. 22-minute Forever Pack site video, 3-minute telomere video, an audio, and then in parentheses it says see note in description. And that way I can just make a note of which audio I shared with them inside of the description of that person's card. Follow-up call with a leader. Again, see the notes. And then an other video. So that all of these videos are in the backside of foreverpack.com. And you'll find them when you log in with One Team, which is where you're finding this video probably. So, so these different videos are in here, and I'm just saying that the idea is just to visually quickly tag the exposure that you've given them, make note if it's something specific. We obviously don't want to have a million tags in here, but there's enough to get things really going. I also have here other video, right, and then website, right? See the notes of which websites that you sent. These are all in green, and I set them up that way to be sort of like the first exposures for somebody who's not yet on the products, that is just now getting educated. All right. And then the next level of that in yellow are in-home events. And then I have C notes, ISA-Movie, local live event, Monday Forever Pack live event that we do with Dave. And then there's the podcast where you can see the notes of which podcast I might have sent them. So these are all first exposures, second exposures, third exposures, even into the first 5, whatever. And this is just if you have somebody who doesn't just get it right away, but we still want to continue to educate. So I created all these labels and you can just easily tag. So I'm going back to Laura now. I'm sharing with Laura and I'm going to say I sent her the 3-minute video and the 22-minute video. And I already made a comment that I did that, so I don't need to do anything there. But now I want to make sure I follow up with her in a day. Now, if I didn't set an appointment with her to follow up, my labels are done, then I can just go ahead and just set a date. You just go, I'll close this over here on the side, go to due date. It's going to default to today. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share with her tomorrow. And I didn't set any specific time with her, so I'm just going to leave it at tomorrow. If you have a time, you can put it in here and it'll be very specific. And then you just you can have a reminder on there, or you can, like at the time of the due date or the time of the actual event, or you can have no timer at all. If you want a reminder, which is kind of nice, then go ahead and have a reminder on there, set it however you like, and just hit save. So now there's a due date on here, and this due date's going to turn yellow, or sorry, it's going to turn green when it's getting close. It's going to turn yellow when it's getting closer, and it'll turn red as soon as it's overdue. So it's going to show up for you on your board. It's just really handy. And then I'm just going to close it. This is all I need for her. And she's set. Now that I've shared with her, I'm going to move her into active potentials. Now, this card here won't naturally actually be here. I'm just, again, this is here for training purposes. So now Laura is active. So let's say Lenny, real quick, Lenny met on plane. He wants pain in knee, and he is feeling sluggish and foggy. All right, he mentioned grandma and lots of people at work. Okay, so obviously my spelling is a little messy. I'm just going to say those are some of my notes. He hasn't ordered yet, so I don't have other information. Oh, sorry. Let me just say his phone and email. Save. Okay, add comment, shared. Let's say with him, it was time to share the Monday night call. So you don't have to say this. I can just say invited to live, right? There we go. I might actually copy and paste the very text that I sent him so that I know exactly what I sent him, and maybe what he sent back, I can copy and paste in there. That's really handy on your phone, and it's also really easy to do on your tablet. So now we've shared, I'm gonna quickly label what I shared with him was an invitation to the Monday Forever Pack Live. And I'm gonna, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm just gonna go ahead and share the telomere video too. So I might make an edit to what I've already said. I'll just go ahead and edit, and 3-minute. Okay, there we go. We'll just call that done. And for him, he said he wasn't gonna be able to, so he's not gonna watch this thing until Monday. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move to the Monday, and I'm gonna call him right afterwards. I'm gonna actually set a time on him to 8 p.m. And I want the reminder on that one. I don't wanna forget. So there's his timer. He's good to go, done. Now Lenny is now an active prospect. How cool, right? Okay, now I follow up with Laura. Now Laura is going to be a member. Actually, wait, Laura wants more information. So we have a couple of exchanges in here. Maybe I add a couple of other things. She gets on the Monday Live, and then, oh my gosh, I had an opportunity to get her on the phone with my upline. Oops, cancel. I did not mean to create a new label. I wanted to see all of them. I actually got really excited because there was a sizzle call, right? There was a short little call and I wanted her to hear it with Dave on it. So I invited her to that. Ooh, that was a bit of a jump, right? But now you can see she's got 4 exposures here. She's going to be, if she's accepting this many exposures, she's probably pretty excited about moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and set that next due date for her. And there we're going to put it on the 30th. I don't know why I have this one in here. You can take tags right off if you need to. There we go. And now she's set for the 30th. Let's say the 30th comes and Laura now orders. Oh, how exciting, right? So Laura has now ordered. Now I'm going to go into her description and I'm going to add her order information. I'm going to have her username, password, and I'm going to do her last 4 digits of card and expiration, right? Just so that I have that available. Actually, I usually take the code too. So I don't have her whole number, but if for any reason she needs me to get into her back office through the IsaLife app or something else, I can do that because I have her main information stored, okay? So there's her description. Now, here's the really fun part. She's just become a new member. I've just moved her over into the membership column. Super excited about this. I've gone ahead and created now a checklist. It's a new member checklist. And I'm going to go ahead and you'll have to create this yourself. You're just going to click checklist. You're going to title it, right? Whatever you want to title it. And then once you've created the checklist, you'll be able to then copy items from, you can actually copy that checklist and use it again and again and again in other cards. So I actually created one. So you'll see I've created this 3 to 5 exposures new member checklist. Ta-da! So there's the title. There's the checklist. I hit add and look at this. I put this together and you can build this too. This is my new member checklist. Enroll the member. Send the username and password. IsaLife app download. Make sure that you're directing them to that. The orientation on how to use that. Add to Forever Pack Facebook community group. Introduce in the group when they're confirmed, once they've confirmed that they've got the invitation. Have them download Zoom, right? These are all actually in the welcome call, you guys. So this is just to make sure they've done these things and make sure you give them what they need to set them up to be a forever member, right? Remember, this is our customer care. This is, they get us with their order. So here you've got the welcome call video, whether you want to share that video from the backside of foreverpack.com or you want to go ahead and do that welcome call with them and use those slides that are there just to guide you so that you get all the right information. I just really implore you to watch that video over and over so that you can do these welcome calls yourself. All right. And then you're going to do that welcome call with your leader. You must plug your people else besides you. You cannot be Isagenix to everyone. I can't say this enough. You want to plug them into the culture. You want to plug them in. You don't ever want to be the cog between them and even more access to people and to success and other perspectives. It's super important and it validates you. It validates their decision and the company. It's just huge, you guys. So that welcome call with the leader, you want to set that up. Sorry. And then you've got some notes if you want to make some notes on their goals and they're measuring, you know, how they're going to measure success, or if they actually do the welcome call sheet, you can attach it to this card, you guys. So you can add those notes in the description where you want to save those, or you can actually go straight to attachment right up here and attach their documents straight to their card. It's so darn cool. I'm not going to do it right here because of bandwidth issues, but you can totally do that. So all of these different things on their list, you can just check them off. You check them off, and then you know where you're at with them. And this kind of keeps a little ticker going for you. It's the coolest thing. And then you can hide completed items so you don't see them and it doesn't look like super overwhelming, or you can show them. It's fine. Or you can delete them when they're all done. It's totally up to you. But it's really a cool way to keep track of where you're at with each person. And again, when you do this with Laura or whoever this person is, then what are you going to do? You're going to invite them to the next thing. And if you don't know what that is and you've created these labels, you guys, seriously, the labels will tell you where to go next. So I'm going to show some more of these labels to you now because now we have a member. We've now got the compensation video, the foreverpack.com backend login information, the Freedom Day call video, the short compensation video, a sizzle call with a leader, a welcome call video, and then it goes all the way through to a three-way call with the leader. And of course, you have to make notes about that in there so that you know exactly what that was about. The Forever Pack Thursday training calls that we do every morning on Thursdays, the Monday Healthy Mind and Body Mastermind Zoom, the private Zoom with a leader. Again, like all of these things can be personalized to whatever you're building into. These are just the things that I build into. And then you've got some of the big events that you were going to be inviting to, the celebration events, the ICU events, the NYKO, and so on, right? So there's all these different labels that you get to create that'll actually even prompt you to the next thing, because you don't want to close this card until you've invited them to something else. All right, so I hope that's really clear. And then again, add comments if they've made talks, if they've been talking to other people or whatever. Just keep track of everything that you're doing with them, and that really is going to help you to feel completely in control with what's happening. Now, Laura's had a few exposures. She's getting pretty excited now. She wants to be an associate. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these people, but just showing you like how you can move these people through and how fun and satisfying it is to be able to just slide these around all over the place. It's like a little dopamine hit. It's awesome. So now Laura's had 1, 2, 3, 4 exposures, right? But she's become an associate. And as you see right here, the goal, you know, you're going to start to see how many. You can just glance at this and see that she's accepting all this education. And so 5 to 8 exposures is what we say was going to bring somebody to an associate. Laura, maybe she catches the vision really early, but we want to still continue to educate and invite her to the next things. So we're going to keep moving her forward, keep taking notes, plugging her into different things, making sure that she's got everything she needs, and that system in the backside of foreverpack.com is coming alive for her. And then you can move her into consultant machines and so on. So I'm thinking that this is probably pretty clear, and you can kind of see how fun this would be. And as you really get going and you've got all these people kind of moving and these lists start getting more and more dynamic, and then you've got this list over here, the bucket should be like scrolling down, like mine is just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And you can change the order of where these things are so that they're more exciting for you. You know, maybe you have dates on them and you want to go ahead and organize them in order of date. You can certainly do that, but they're going to pop up for you and really show you when the next date's going to be. And I would highly encourage that the things you remember to do is take a note on what you did, tag any next exposure or invitation, and change the due date. If you do those 3 things with your card, then you will not miss a beat. You're going to know that they're excited about that next thing, and you know what your next action is. And those are really important. Now, let me just share again. So I gave you a new member checklist. I also created a checklist for the, what is it here? For new associates. That's right. So new associate checklist. So I'm going to go ahead and add that new associate checklist to this card, which has all of the different labels of a new associate, like all the different things that you probably would engage them in. And here you're going to see my list for the new associates. Orient to team login on foreverpack.com with next steps. Okay, that's a big one, right? What does that mean? So you want to take them back there and show them where their steps are and what you want them to do next. You're going to make notes in their comments of what you said or what they're going to do, and you're going to set a due date to follow up with them. Okay, super clear. Orient the team. Or orient to the team login. Then you want to instruct on bumping to associate. How do you do that? Show them how to do that. What does that mean? Show them how they're going to get an email and that they're going to have 2 associate, new member codes that are going to come when they engage in that video that's going to be sent via email once they bump to associate, because that video is a compliance video and they need to watch that in order to get those 2 codes, right? So then you've got confirm email with compliance video that they got it, and the 2 enrollment codes were saved so that there's no questions about that. You want to take them to the back office for their first enrollments and show them how to enroll, one on the right and one on the left. Don't assume that they're going to know how to do that. These are important things to do when you first meet with somebody. That Freedom Day call, right? So after you've got them started and they get these things starting to roll, or maybe even beforehand, you're doing that Freedom Day call. You can either send them the video from the backside of foreverpack.com, you can guide them to watch it there, or you're going to go ahead and set that right up with your leader and take them through it. But you want to do that if you want to do that with them alone, but you definitely want to bring a leader in for this. So that's going to be a 3-way call. And so that's the next one, Freedom Day call with your leader. Take notes on their goals or attach their Freedom Day Builder sheet that they do. Have them take a screenshot of it with their phone if they need to. They don't have to digitally send it or email it to you. Literally, they can send you a picture of it. If you're sitting down with them or you're just going through it manually, you can write it on a Freedom Day sheet of your own, take a picture of that, and then just stick it right in here and attach it so you know what their goals are and you have access to that as soon as you open up this card. Okay, guide to their different apps and specific trainings and calls that you want them to take. So again, making sure IsoLife, the IsoLife app, if you want to show them this Trello training, whatever it is that you want them to see. Strategize their launch. Are they going to have a, are they going to do a call blitz? Are they going to set up stuff with you? Are they going to do a launch party or 2 parties? Or like, how do they want to launch? You want to strategize that with them and help really set them up for success. And then regular check-ins. You want to schedule when are their best times. It's a great thing to do to keep in their description. What are the best times to reach you? What are the best days or what are the blockout times that you have to work? When are going to be your hours? Those are the types of notes that you want to keep so that you don't have to continue to ask these questions or have expectations of people. You really have all that education or all that knowledge right at your fingertips here. And then of course, whatever next actions, whatever comments, time stamped, and so on. So that checklist is really, really, really helpful. So you can see that once you create it, all you have to do is attach it and you can use it again and again and again. And so that's going to be whatever your system is. I'm just sharing with you again what I'm doing. So consultant machines, I don't know that I created a checklist specifically for consultant machines. I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Consultants with goals. That's what I did. Consultants with goals. And what did I do for them? I have a checklist for them. Schedule Freedom Day strategy call Zoom with an upline leader. Okay, so you know they want to be like, they really want to fly, fly, fly. You definitely want to have a strategy type of a Freedom Day call, not just a what's your Freedom Day look like and get them excited, but like, what do I need to do? How am I going to make this thing come alive? That's an important, it's more like a coaching call. Book their launch plans with them. Make sure that you're really locking arms with those people that really want to fly. Choose those people you're going to really work closely with. Confirm the next company events, the big events. They absolutely, if you have goals, then you're going to be going to these big company events, right? Schedule sizzle calls with your top 10 on your list. A sizzle call, 15 minutes with an upline leader who's going to just bring people up to speed, edify you, you edify the leader. Everybody learns together. You've got this kind of running list of people that get going together. That's a great way to get things rolling. And you can do those, many of these calls. Confirm training calls and Zooms on their calendar. Make sure that they have in their calendar where to get plugged in and keep charged up and learning and engaged, because we know that the more we touch the business a little bit every day, the further they're going to go with it. So make sure that they have them in their calendar so that they're not waiting for you to send those off to them. Schedule check-ins and 3-way scheduling process. So you want to schedule when you want to connect with them, how often do they want to connect with you, get those in your calendar. If it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times, if you're going to use Marco Polo on your phone, or like how are you going to communicate? Make notes about that and set that up, because you really want to be locking arms with those people that want to run. And then schedule those 3-way scheduling. What that process is, really help them feel equipped as to how to best get on a 3-way call with you. So as a leader, or how you're going to best get on a 3-way call with your upline leader, so that you know how to schedule those calls and make them really seamless, where you're not going back and forth on text trying to get those set up. So those are just some of the things that I put in there for consultants with goals that I use. And I'm sure there's all kinds more that can be done as well. It looks like I put this in here twice. Oops. Anyways, so one more time, I'm just going to show you these labels and talk about that for just one more second. Show all the labels, and just again, just sharing this idea of these exposures. The green ones are sort of the first few. The yellow are the next, or they can be in any order really, but like this is kind of how I see it. The progression of these things, and then the orange compensation. So I'm just going to quickly read through these one more time, because I have a feeling you guys might want to see them again. So 22-minute Forever Pack site video, 3-minute telomere video, an audio, see the note in description, follow-up call with a leader, see the note in description. Other video, see the note in the description. Website, see the note in description. So again, these are just some of those first exposures. In-home event, see the notes. ICE movie, local event, see the notes. Monday Facebook, Forever Pack Live, that Monday Night Live. Podcast, see the notes and description, whether you're sending them to, the science talks or specific talks, make notes about those. Compensation video, foreverpack.com back-end login, right? When you give them that login, you want to know they have that login. You want to be able to know by looking at that tag that they can go back there and see everything, right? Freedom Day call video, short compensation video, sizzle call with a leader, welcome call video. Now I put these in orange because they're not the actual call, which is going to be that next level. That's these red ones. Three-way call with leader. Forever Pack Thursday training call, Monday Healthy Mind and Body Mastermind, private Zoom with a leader. Those are all, those three-way calls with the leaders are going to be freedom calls and welcome calls too. So when you get those red ones in there, just know that's going to stand out on your cards. Those red ones are big ones, right? Those are the ones that are going to really move people forward. So you're going to really notice those. And then you've got Celebration, ICU, NYKO, and there were a couple of others that are not showing up. There's a Super Saturday. Super Saturdays are in there, and then also UIA events. For some reason, I think I maxed out on those. So anyways, again, those are just examples of those. And then the last part here was event confirmations I wanted to just share with you. So if I'm inviting people to events, you might create a label for them if you want to, but they're constantly changing. So if I invite somebody for events, I could create another label, maybe black, create a new label, and black, and just say like invited to event, to live event. Okay, and then I'll say the description, but I already kind of have that, right? So I don't know if that's really going to be necessary, but it certainly does show up, right? That black one. But then really what I want to do is confirm who's coming. So I've got this event that I might be doing. I'm just in the description, I'm just going to write down the names of the people that are confirmed to go. And that way I just have it in here in my list, and I'm going to have this list growing so I know kind of who came to what or which event they came to. It's just a way of kind of tracking those things, but you can play with your tags and your events and see what works for you with that. And then I think that's pretty clear. I don't know that I'm missing anything. There's a lot of really, really cool like tricks and like shortcuts and things like, that you can definitely learn. And when you go, when you get started on this, you're going to see that they actually create, they have like a getting started board of their own, like the tips and tricks board. I have a social media strategy board, which I haven't even really started using. I have a to-do list board. You could create one that you share with your team when you do a live event. Like just in about an hour here, I'm going to be heading out to do a street fair event. And I'm working with three other associates that are all on the same line, the same team together. And I was thinking, what would be really cool? I'll have my tablet and we can just create a board for that event. And we can each have our own column, and we can each put in, whatever contacts that we have and make notes on it and share the whole board together. Like there's things like that you can do. Or if you're coaching with somebody in your team, you can share your board and talk about your people and make notes about next steps and dates and so on. I mean, there's so much you can do with this. It's really, really flexible. And I really hope that this is helpful for you and that you're getting the concept of moving people through and adding all of this, these exposures for them, and then also being able to track exactly where you are with them. And, again, on the fly, it's so much fun because, I'm going to go ahead and stop share. On the fly, it's really fun because there's this, here's my Trello app. It's like right here, and you just click on it and I can go straight to my board and all of my stuff is in here. You'll see my board is like long, my long list, and you can see all the little tags like start to show up. And obviously I've got some due dates on here. Sorry, you can't really see it. I'm trying to show you, but you can't really see it. But nonetheless, it's really easy to add people right to your list or right to your bucket. And I can just add a new card, and I can say this person that I met, and you can even use your little record, the little record feature, and say the person's name, Leah, Okay, so I keep saying Leah just because I keep working with her. So, and then I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to click on her, and then I can literally just take her picture. I mean, I can just add her picture on there. I can put a due date, what we talked about. I can click right into her description and speak what I want to say about, just met at the street fair, is interested in Isagenix for her daughter who's in gymnastics and for her best friend who's suffering from Crohn's. Okay, so I just made that up. Done. And then I'm going to put a due date that I'm going to share with her tomorrow, right? Done. And then I'm going to label, I'm not going to label yet because I haven't shared with her yet. And I might put an activity, whatever, something in the activity, but you're just done, right? And then you can take a picture of that person and it's going to store in there in case you just met them and you want to remember what they look like. It's so flexible, you guys. That's all I wanted to say. So I hope that this was really helpful for you and that this is going to help you kind of get going up and running. I've done a few of these trainings before, and I hope that this is enough. And if I need to redo it, I'll redo it. It's totally not a problem. But yeah, that's it. All right. So have fun with Trello. Make it your own. Share your tips in the threads as you like. Like I said, I really I appreciate that you honor my time and that you don't ask me a million questions and that you do some of the hacking that I had to do to kind of figure it out. But again, I hope this gets you off on a really great start. And I will answer what I can if it comes up, but I appreciate that. All right. Again, my name is Alex Sabatelli, and I'm super excited about helping you guys to move forward in this Forever Pack movement in a massive way because we don't want to drop any balls with this. We really want to keep everybody moving forward and having a really great experience, an educational experience, and becoming forever members, like really staying on these products forever and getting on multiple products. And that was one other last thing I did want to say is, make sure you really utilize the system in the back of foreverpack.com, really, because that training in there really is just priceless. And we want to educate people after a month on the Forever Pack about other products that we have. We have the Forever Pack Facebook group. That's a community that we want to plug people in. And so you want to make sure that you have that in your checklist and that you do add them to that so that they are seeing other products and other testimonials and people and they feel supported in that community. It's really up to us to give people that really wonderful experience and not just be about, signing up as many people as we can and then just letting them, be on their own. We want to show them how easy it is to use the app, to learn more and to order more products on their own and to be able to handle their own account and feel in control of their stuff, but still having a relationship with us and being able to just, be there for them as they're having their experience and as they're sharing with other people and people are coming to them. Step up, really step up and be that leader and be organized enough that you can do that. I really implore just the experiences you're going to give to them and what that stands for Isagenix. And yeah, that's it. So thanks so much. I hope this is helpful. Let me know in your comments. And if you need to reach me, you can find me definitely in Forever University. And my group is Sweet Spot Power Team. You're more than welcome to come over there. It's probably not nearly as active and fun as Forever University, but certainly I do some Facebook Lives there and you'll see some good stuff. So, all right. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one.